What's going on, guys? It's Jay from Dirty Boy Tools, here to bring you another toolkit update. I know I do a lot of updates on my toolkits because I change up my toolkits constantly. I'm always trying new different tools, different kits, different holders, trying to see what works best for me. So I think originally one of my first toolkit videos that I put, at least on YouTube, was my Knipex pouch, which worked really well for a while. I'm just happy with it. I just needed some bigger tools. Then I went to my Maxpedition Skinny. I never made a video on this, maybe I will, which held a variety of tools, which was very good, but not compact enough, and it didn't clip to my pocket. After that, I went to a Mellow Tough 5-pocket pouch. Very good toolkit overall. Holds up everything well. Problem is, it had a hammer loop on it, and I don't have a need to hold a hammer. So I didn't really use this loop appropriately. I just kind of clipped tools onto the different parts of it, and then the tape measure holder, I think I used it to hold scissors. It just wasn't a good hold. Overall though, I did like Mellow Tough. I think they have great quality for the price. So currently I'm using a Mellow Tough 6-in-1, 6-pocket small pouch. And you know what? I got a good feeling about this. I think I'm going to hold this toolkit for a while. I think I'm going to use it for a long time. But only time will tell. But it's pretty secure, pretty strong. Oh, wait, let me, oh yeah, that's enough. I can flip it around, do all kinds of things, go this way, that way, every which way. Try to dump it out. You know, everything holds up really well in this kit. It's pretty small. I feel like I can take this kit, and let's say I got a friend up on a ladder and he needs to tighten some bolts or something, I don't know, and he needs a kit. So I feel like I could take this kit, throw it to the friend, he can catch it, and then save the day, tighten the bolt, whatever, put the tool back in, throw it back to me, and the tools won't come out, and it'll be nice and comfortable. That's what I feel like would happen, and that's what I want in my small toolkit pouches. I want to be able to throw this at somebody and it could hold together and they can catch it, and everything will be okay and nothing will go wrong. That's what I want. So let me get started on this toolkit and show you guys what I'm working with. So I guess I'll start with the newer tools. First things first is a Timo bit holder. This is a really cool bit holder, different from a lot of ones that I've seen, and it fits my needs very well. So it's designed like a tape measure, square, flat, clips on. You clip this onto your belt if you want. If you want to get something like this, is Timo, T-E-M-O, and comes with a bit holder. The bit holder rotates, so I can put a bit in there, rotate it. I can put it in my bit extender, and you know, get to work on what I need to get to. And it also has very secure slots. So let's check this out. So I'm going to open up both of these slots. Alright, so open up slots, and you can see I have 32 bits in here in total. I don't need all 32. So it came with some bits. Anything in gray color is a bit that it came with. Anything that's brown is what I added in there. So originally it came with, this was Phillips and then a bunch of metric hex bits, which I could use. Then I added in some more metric hex bits, and I took out some of the Phillips bits. I left the flat bits in here. I don't really need all those flat bits, but hey, why not, right? Other side came with some Torx bits. Took out the Torx bits. I don't need Torx bits, and I put in some Allen key hex bits, standard size. Standard size is not that common nowadays, but at my workplace it's probably the most commonly used bit for us. And then I replaced some of these Phillips bits out with larger sized Allen key hex bits. I kept those Phillips 1, 2, and 3 in here, and I have a Torx 30 bit in here because I happen to have a use for a Torx 30 bit. That's the only Torx bits I've really ever used at my place. The bits hold secure enough, but they are pretty loose. They don't get stuck, which I like, but they are loose, so that could be a problem, but it snaps tightly like that, so I think things will be secure overall. No complaints about this bit holder. It seems like a great quality one. I haven't really put it to use yet. The only thing is, I ordered it and the picture showed me a blue one, not a red one, and I got a red one, and I'm not complaining because my kit is red, so it goes better. But just understand that you may think you're getting a blue one and you may end up getting a red one. Something to keep in mind. So this is a Knipex 180 pliers wrench. You guys have seen lately I've been using Knipex products. I've been kind of a fanboy of them because they really do work. They're really effective products. I want to try and use different tools, but it's hard to beat some of these tools. But this is the 180, so a little over 7 inches. I've been using the 6-inch wrench pliers for a while, the 150s. They work really well. They work so well that I actually think I can replace out using a wrench. So typically I'd always have wrenches in my kit, adjustable wrenches. I do not have an adjustable wrench in this kit, so I don't have a 6-inch adjustable crescent. I don't have a 6-inch Baco. I need to figure something out because eventually I do want to try out my 6-inch lobster wrench. But right now these pliers wrenches are working so well and so effectively, so I'm just using that for the time being. So in here, this one's a little different. This one's a little more unique. So I think many people are familiar with the Knipex twin grips. If I'm playing this video on the right day, then I should have done a comparison of both of these tools the day before. But this is from Lobster, the same company that made that wrench. Lobster, Japan. This is the TG200NA 8-inch, also known as 200 millimeter screw removal pliers. It's got screw removal options. I'm sorry guys, I don't have autofocus, but you can see it's got the screw removal portion just like Knipex does. In their pliers, the screw removal portion is not as wide, but it's still substantial enough to grab onto screws. And you can see it's got a little curve in there. That curve, if you guys have ever seen those pipe wrench pliers, like the modern day ones, or Swedish pipe wrench pliers, resembles that. So I could be wrong, but I have a feeling this is meant to grab onto bolts or bolt bodies, screw bodies, bolt heads, and or even smaller pipes or conduits, and help you manipulate them. So I'm looking forward to these. I should have a fuller video comparing this to the Knipex twin grips. I should have launched that the day prior to this if I did everything right. But slip joint pliers, quick action, easy. The Knipex button action. It is 5 different settings in there, so you can be real precise. But when I think of slip joint pliers, I want something that I could really slip the joint on, be quick on, do my job, and then switch back. I want speed. I don't necessarily want something that's going to do the neatest, cleanest work. I need to keep moving if I have these in my tool pack. So everything else in here is pretty much tools that I've had in my prior tool packs. Basic pocket driver, flathead, Phillips head. Use it as a pry bar, use it as a poking tool, as an awl. Very useful. This is my oiler pen. It's made by a lot of companies. Aries, Titan makes it. Deadwood Craft, I think, is a company I bought it from. They're all the same oiler, but I think a company makes it and they sell it to these different companies. So if you look up Precision Oiler, Pen Oiler, you'll find something like this on Amazon. You'll also probably find something like this, like a little. This is what I use to hold my nano oil for lubricating knives and stuff like that. What's next? My PB Swiss precision driver. It's got 3 different blades on it. Flatheads on one end, Phillips on the other. So 3 flats, 3 Phillips. The blades are of the highest quality and caliber. No complaints there. They work very well. They grab very well. They're going to last a long time. The downside is the magnet in here is not the strongest magnet, and it grabs onto the actual bits, so it doesn't have a lot of surface area to grab. So you just got to be careful. Sometimes if it grabs onto a screw tight enough, it'll stay in the screw. So just be mindful and take that out with your hand and put it back in your driver so that you don't lose them. But overall, I am very happy with this driver. It placed my Klein 4-in-1. It's nice and compact, and it has some smaller bits than my 4-in-1, so it does come in handy for some situations. This is my Lyle Demolition pry bar, 5-inch pry bar, my favorite pry bar. I see a lot of people carry around those EDC pry bars, little flat looking things. Personally, I think this is a more effective EDC pry bar, although it isn't as easy to carry around. It has some dimension to it, but this is great. It's got, you know, that flathead type end, so I can actually use it as a flathead for certain control cabinets if I want to get into it. And it has a nice little striking cap. I don't have a hammer, but I do have a wrench, which is like a hammer. So, you know, if I need to, I can hold this down. You know, I can do a little bit of damage with this, and I can do a little bit of work with this, and I know that this will be okay at the end of the day because it is solid. Only thing not solid about this is the pen clip, but I don't use this, so I'm okay. But if you do plan to make use of the pen clip, maybe reconsider to another pry bar. That's the only weakness. Let's go with my Vim driver. So you might have seen this in other toolkits of mine. I am a huge fan of this style of driver. I think it's like a bicycle ratchet style. I actually have another one. I was just looking for it. This is by Pressure Cycle. So this is a smaller one that I use in smaller kits. The ratchets themselves for this one and the other one, and for Icon and for a couple other companies, I believe they're all made by a Taiwanese company called High-5. Somebody on YouTube was informing me of that in the comments. So they're all made by the same company, and you know what? They are great ratchets. I use them on jobs that are kind of heavy jobs. You know, I'll take 1/4 inch, whatever's bigger than 1/4 inch, 6mm, 7mm bits, 8mm bits, and put them onto bolts that are big bolts. And you know what? This ratchet's been holding up very well. You have the T-bar option because you have a bit holder here, bit holder here. You can have a 1 bit here and a different size bit here, so you can, you know, do a job with multiple size bolts, which I often encounter. You can take out this bar, you can extend it here, get some length there, or you can just pass it through a little bit and have a little bit of leverage here. So it's got a lot of options with this type of ratchet. Huge fan of it. I would, you know what, it would be nice to see them come up with some more 3/8 drive-in, like, you know, bigger, more significant ratchets like this style, because this works out very well. So if they do larger sizes, you know, for more leverage, bigger bolts, that'd be awesome to see in the future, because this works really good right now for pretty much all the jobs I need a ratchet for. This is my Klein electrician scissors. You know, nothing crazy. Basic pair of scissors. They will cut, obviously, wire, but they'll also cut pneumatic lines, things like that. Work very well, very effective. They're also supposed to be good at stripping wires. I'm just not good at stripping wires myself. My electric skills are not the best. It also has these reamers right here, so you can put it into conduit pipes and kind of, you know, open them up a little bit if you need to. A good tool overall. These are my only cutters that I have in here, so they actually replace nippers. Hopefully they'll do, but hopefully I don't have any situations where I absolutely need like a wire nipper or something like that. So far I don't, though. Last thing in here is Milwaukee ink saw. It's basically a Sharpie. Actually, some people say they prefer Sharpies to this. I can't tell the difference. If I had to replace this marker with something, I would probably use a paint marker to replace it out, but this does the job. Good for labeling things when you're taking things apart. You gotta label things out, then you can put it back together in the right order, because if you don't do that, it's just bad news. I've done it before. I've learned the hard way. Just, you know, label your stuff when you take out parts for your job. So these are all the tools I have in my toolkit. A couple of them are new, a couple of them are time tested and familiar. By time tested, I mean, honestly, I've been using this for a few months, but man, it's working great. I plan to, you know, start changing out some of these tools with other tools in the future. For example, my ratchet, I'll try to change it out with my Observer Tools ratchet, but I might need a different toolkit because this is too fat. So I'll start to switch out these tools, try different things out as I go along, but honestly, some of these tools are really great, and that'll be very hard to replace. But But the main one I've been replacing is my Knipex Twin Grip with this lobster pliers one. Definitely want to check this out, see how this holds up. I'm really excited to use this, especially because this is more budget friendly. So this could be exciting for people who had their eye on the twin grips, but don't want to spend the money on that. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to talk to you guys. If you have any suggestions about tools, toolkits, tool pouches, anything like that. I'm probably going to be going to a tough built tool pouch after this. I've been told about the Vito Pro Pack pouches, and they are nice pouches. But to be honest, I'm probably going to get that pouch for at-home type stuff, DIY type stuff, and then I'll probably stick to the smaller ones for work because I could just move through work better that way. So let me know in the comments, guys.